Hi guys, it's Danelle at Painted, and today we're going to take a closer look at our feature color of the week, which is Plaster by the Fusion Mineral Paint line. So what I'm going to show you guys are some colors that I think it pairs really well with, and also some stains that it looks nice with, along with what it looks like with its first coat of coverage. Let's take a closer peek. Here is Plaster. This is painted on a raw piece of wood, and this has 2 coats of coverage. So as you can see, even on a porous surface, this has great coverage with only 2 coats. Now, depending on what you're painting over, that will also take into consideration how many coats you need. But in general, I would say this is definitely a 2-coat coverage paint. This color, I would say, would fall in our whites line. It does have like yellow undertones, so it's definitely not a bright white. It would be more closer in the off-white family. But what I want to show you guys is how well it pairs with other colors and stains. So regarding stains, my favorite picks would definitely be these 3. This is the cappuccino, and then in the center we have driftwood, and then we also have ebony. But to give you guys a closer look, and then also, just so you understand these blocks, this is just 1 coat, and then this would be 2 coats. That's why it's so dark. But I think just 1 coat of the cappuccino stain along with the plaster is a really awesome pairing. Now, besides painting and staining, sometimes we can do our furniture pieces with painting and then also a complementary color. Now, this color is kind of a, it's a chameleon color in my opinion, where it really pairs beautifully with a lot of the colors in the line. I'm a huge fan of blues, so it's probably why my eye is always drawn to the blues. But I would say my favorite picks to pair with Plaster would be these colors. Seaside, you can tell, looks beautiful with it. Homestead Blue, they're very complementary. Midnight Blue, so if you want more of a contrast, it still looks really nice together. And then for more of a simple, subtle look, I think Lichen looks great with it. But in general, this color, honestly, I could probably pull any of the blocks and it's still gonna look really nice with them. So our featured color for the week is Plaster. And if there's any color that you'd like to see from the Fusion line placed next to Plaster, leave a comment and I'll be happy to take a picture and show you guys that as well. And now what I'm gonna show you is what it looks like with just 1 coat coverage. So Plaster comes in either a pint or we also have it in a tester. And because it's the featured color for this week only, I do have it on sale. So if you're in the Green Bay area or you need shipping, you will get it on sale from my studio. And then if you have a local merchant, go ahead and check to see what type of special they might be having as well. So this is just a pine sample board, and I just want to show you guys how it looks with 1 nice coat for the coverage so you get an idea. Because this was a light board and I'm also using a light color, you can tell it covers very well. And I could probably get away with just having the 1 coat. I always recommend people do 2 thin coats versus like 1 thick coat, but this is what it looks like with just 1 solid coat, and it's pretty much solid opaque coverage. But then I'm gonna go ahead and apply a 2nd coat for you guys and then just also add a little bit of wax. So now for our 2nd coat. And I'm just using a 2-inch workshop brush. Nothing fancy, but I'm telling you, this little brush is pretty amazing. And I have actually painted furniture with this brush, but it's also awesome for just like signs and small projects. So there you go. So that's 2 coats and that's solid, perfect coverage. So I'm gonna go ahead and allow this to dry. Now when it comes to Fusion Mineral Paint, it does have a built-in top coat. So once you paint, technically you can be done. You don't need to add waxes for any added durability. With Fusion, it's more like adding wax to highlight details or just add dimension to your piece. So when it comes to the color Plaster, my top picks for waxes would be the espresso, the aging, and the black. I think all three of those look really good with Plaster. So for today, what I'm going to do is I think I'm gonna do half the side with the aging wax and then the other side with the espresso, just so you guys can get an idea of how it looks differently depending on which wax you would add. So first I'm gonna start with the aging wax on this side, and a little bit of wax goes a long way. So I'm just going to get a little bit on. And one thing that's nice with wax, and you guys probably know this already, but if you ever add too much wax and maybe you've added, some and you think it turned out too dark, for example, you can go ahead and take clear wax and use it as an eraser and get some of it off. So waxing should not be a scary thing. So I'm just erasing a little bit of the dark wax so that you guys can still, see the plaster. Hopefully you guys can see this, but that just shows you, so that is with the aging on this side. And then on the other side, I'm just getting some of it out of my brush. I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like with the espresso. They're just two different, dark shades, both great for antiquing a piece and adding some dimension. Normally, like if this was furniture, I'd let the wax sit a little bit more and then wipe back. But because it's just a demo, you guys get what I'm doing. And that kind of shows, hope you guys can tell this, that kind of shows what it looks like on this side with the espresso, just to get a good idea. So besides just the unfinished, look of the plaster paint, you can also pair it to add some dimension with some of the waxes.